Today I'm performing a saline moistened dressing change. This is Mr. Jones. At this point I've already come into the room and I have set all of my supplies. I have my trash receptacle within reach and I have verified that this is in fact Mr. Jones. I have checked my doctor's orders to make sure that it is in fact a saline moistened dressing change. I have explained to Mr. Jones what I'm going to be doing to him today, and about 30 minutes ago I went ahead and administered pain medication because Mr. Jones was experiencing some discomfort. So at this point I'm going to wash my hands and I'm going to do the best that I can to provide for privacy with Mr. Jones, but at the same time I'm going to try to make sure that you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so now I'm gonna go on and I'm going to put on my clean gloves. And I'm going to take a peek and see what we're getting ourselves into. So in order for me to be able to change his dressing, I have to remove the old one. If the tape were to not come off of here fairly easily, I would need to use some saline to help me with that, but it's coming off pretty easy. So I'm going to remove the old dressing and I'm going to check it for drainage. And at this point, if there were to be any drainage, I would check for the type of drainage, how much drainage there was, what color the drainage is, and if there's any odor at all with the drainage. In this case, there's not any of those things. So at this point, I'm going to dispose of the old dressing. I'm going to do this inside of my gloves because that'll keep me from being contaminated. I'm going to put them in my waste receptacle. So at this point, I'm going to perform hand hygiene again and I'm going to put on another pair of clean gloves. So now I need to assess Mr. Jones's wound, and to do that I'm going to use these cotton-tipped applicators here. I'm going to open this. I'm going to remove this. And I'm going to come over and I'm going to measure the depth of the wound. And I'm going to remember this so I can document it later. And here on the outside of my package, I'm going to measure and I'll see that the depth of the wound is about 3 centimeters. Come back over and I'm going to do the width of the wound, which is about 2 centimeters. And now I'm going to do the length of the wound, which is about 12 centimeters. I'm going to dispose of the Q-tip. Alright, so at this point I'm going to remove my gloves again. I'm going to wash my hands again before hand hygiene. And now I'm going to open my gauze and my my saline, and I'm going to go ahead and get my gauze moistened. I need to make sure that I don't touch anything that's inside of here because they are sterile. So my saline has already been opened and I'm checking the date and the time on it. So it's good, it's within 24 hours. And I'm going to moisten my gauze, making sure to not touch anything. Put this down here. Alright, so at this point I need to open my sterile supplies. In order to do that, I need to make sure that I open everything away from me and that I don't reach across.
I'm going to also to identify to make sure that this is my patient. He's going to tell me his name and birthday, and then I'm going to match that up tomorrow. I'm also going to provide
Did you mention that veterinary order for the
Now I'm going to open my gloves, so I'm going to move these things over. I have room to do that.
perform hand hygiene, provide your privacy. You said that your waste receptacles are made to have like a. So you have hand hygiene again? What? So you can't wash your hands.
It's crazy.
Well, you wash your hands when you're saying one thing, say,
After you review the order.
I'm not, it gets crazy, but let's just follow the list and that all gets crazy.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. All right, I'll put this in here. Today I'm going to demonstrate a dressing change with sterile technique. My name is Stephanie Johnson. I'm a nursing student here. Would come into the room and I would introduce myself and I would identify the patient, two identifiers. I'm going to
Because of this.
I would explain the procedure to him and I would also.
Okay, so now I have on my sterile gloves. From here on out, the procedure is sterile.
I'd go ahead and make sure.
So I need to clean Mr. Jones's
And he's
wound.
capable of.
So in order to do that, I'm gonna get
Same
one
level
of
as
my
tolerable for the dressing change.
4x4s and I'm
So
gonna
go
squeeze
ahead
out any
and,
excess
rip
saline
the
that's on
fit
it.
and make sure that.
And I'm
at good
going
body
to
level and that my
go
dressing
from
level is here.
top down
No,
and
still-
get rid of
Sorry,
this.
it says waterproof pad, it's not critical.
Did you remember I said, like, it's like craziness?
I'm gonna
I'm gonna get another one.
Remember, I told you, it gets crazy.
I'm gonna do the other side.
And you'll take it over and over and over and
Top
over and over.
down. And get rid of that. Side portion here. And one more.
Sorry for the error, it's not bad.
Okay. So now that the wound's clean, I'm going to pack the wound. I'm going to give it just a second to dry before I do that. And in order to pack the wound, I'm going to take my gauze and I'm going to open it up and make sure that it's fluffed. Excess of fluid here. Alright, so make sure that this is pretty loose. And I'm going to reach over here and I'm going to get one of my applicators here to help me pack the wound. I'm going to try to make sure that I don't touch anything except the wound bed. I want to keep this loose as I'm going.
Did I saw it?
If there were any tunneling, I would make sure that I packed the dressing down to there loosely as well. I'm going to dispose of this. Okay, so now that I have packed it, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my 4x4s, which I seem to have forgotten. So I'm going to have my assistant, Aaron, actually bring me to and open them without breaking the sterile field. Alright, so I'm going to take however many is necessary to cover the wound. I'm going to put those right there. I did forget to mention that I was assessing the wound and I noticed that Mr. Jones has a little bit of redness on the outside of the wound, so I'll make sure that I document that when I'm documenting later. So at this point now, I'm going to apply my PT,
Wash my hands and provide for privacy.
and then I make
have
sure
him identify himself, the state,
cloth side is down.
date of birth. And then
Alright.
I'm going to explain to him his procedure.
So now I'm going to remove my sterile gloves,
And we're gonna,
maybe.
clean it, and then we're going to put a new dressing back on.
I'm going to
sterile
dispose of
technique.
those.
And make sure they had.
And then I'm going
so they need to tolerate the
Use my
procedure.
paper tape, and I'm going to secure the dressing down.
Biohazard receptacle is near me for all of my garbage, so we're gonna go ahead and, get him ready. So I just wash my hands and I put on some clean gloves.
One more down here at the bottom.
So we're gonna loosen up the.
Alrighty, so now that I have secured the dressing, I'm going to take a pen and I'm going to put the date, the time, and my initials of when the procedure was done. Now I'm going to get rid of all of my remaining supplies, throw them all away, be done with them. I am going to put the rails up on the bed. I'm going to lower Mr. Jones's bed down. I'm going to make sure that he has the call bell. And then I'm going to make sure that he's not in any pain. Go ahead and cover him back up. Alright, so now I'm going to wash my hands. He has his collar. I'm going to wash my hands, and I'm going to document how well Mr. Jones tolerated the procedure, as well as the wound assessment and the condition of the wound itself.